It's Monday, Parshas Kisuva, Yid Aleph Elul Tuvshim Paivuv. We're entering nearer and nearer to Rosh Hashanah. My name is Gershy Schwarcz and I'm your host on Edge.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.
Well, because we're heading into Yom Tov and because so much is going on in the news and everywhere else, Trump is adding more tariffs to Canada. Well, so adding is not such a great thing when it comes to, your meals, your meal prep. Not meal prep, when you're actually eating, you gotta know when to eat, when to stop eating. So that's why, when it comes to such a case, most people end up in a problem where the doctor tells them, listen, you're dealing with obesity, something you have to deal with, and you can't stay there. So, you saw me before, I was in a straight of Ramos for a second. I'm kidding. Anyway, the point is that you're going to know when to stop. That's why you need Kosher Skinny Shot. And Kosher Skinny Shot is actually there for you. They guide you, they tell you, they advise you, they have doctors exactly experienced with this that can tell you what your risks are, look at your medical history, to guide you through the whole step, the whole process of this, taking the shots, being able to lose some weight. I've seen people, Baruch Hashem, with such hatzlacha. It's amazing to see them doing this every single, whenever they have to take it. They give you the Sidarayom, they give you the process, the whole thing. I'm going to post this interview I had with Reb Shmuel Weiss. I'm going to bring him on again because people have a lot of questions when it comes to Yom Tov, how they should deal with it when they're on the shot already. So, 845-456-8924 is the number. If you want to call Kosher Skinny Shot, sign up today. They have great deals. Not expensive at all, by the way. It's worth it. And it's worth it especially when you know the results. 845-456-8924. Ask your advisor as well before you can do anything. Just so you know, disclaimer, any advertisement that On Edge makes, we do not take responsibility for any of the results of the product that we advertise. It's the responsibility, obviously, of the advertiser. So you have to call them, 845-456-8924. You can call me on 845-671-1775 and press 5 to leave your name and telephone number to enter this Kosher Skinny Shot raffle, where you can win a free month with Kosher Skinny Shot. All right, let's continue into the news. What happened? Okay, so, as you already know, the week has passed. We've heard about the war. Now there's a war in Iran, but the war is not with shooting, not with bombs. In other words, it's a pressure war. It's more of a money pressure war. They're trying to basically close every single tap, every single channel of finance, of money that Iran could possibly have. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says, that's what he says, Treasury Scott Bessent says that Washington is entering the endgame with the Iranian government. The United States prepared a massive new financial attack. Well, as you can imagine, not a bomb on Iran. Now Scott Bessent is in charge, right? And they're calling it an economic D-Day. Bessent is scheduled to explain the new upcoming sanctions today at 2 p.m. It's supposed to be the single greatest financial offensive ever used against an enemy. And listen to this. President Trump posted on Truth Social, Iran is completely collapsing. Leaders in Tehran are dismissing the threat, obviously. They're saying if the U.S. is focusing on an economic warfare, it's because they failed militarily. Let's go to the Strait of Hormuz, shall we? The narrow shipping lane we always mention, right? Now, as you know, a fifth of the world's oil goes through there. Even though Iran still claims that the Strait of Hormuz is closed to their end, right? I'm very confused. Are you confused, by the way? And that they are in control. The traffic has surged nearly 400%. CNN reports, by the way, speaking of CNN, their signal has been disconnected, both the international one and this current one, right now as we speak. Just saying, reports that Iran has lost significant control of the strait. Even CNN says this, which is amazing. Inside the country, Iran announced that they discovered over 7.5 trillion cubic feet of new natural gas reserves. Well, now the discoveries happen, obviously, as you can imagine. Okay. However, according to the Bloomberg, which is another news agency, it will take 15 years to build the infrastructure to extract the gas. Iran's entire energy infrastructure, including gas production facilities and oil depots, are completely damaged. Because of the heavy sanctions, they are not being rebuilt anytime soon. Obviously, they haven't got the money and the means, the resources to be able to even put them in. Now, Iranian state television has released new video offering a $10 million reward to assassinate the president's son, Barron Trump. It shows him in different places in New York and claim that they are tracking his every single move. Just last month, the same Iranian network put out a similar video threatening the First Lady, Melania Trump. Maybe Trump's Truth Social post Iran is completely collapsing was in response to this threat. Otherwise, nobody even acknowledged it. Iran released another video. On the video, when they do this, it's amazing. This is like unbelievable. The head of Iran's, you've got to be prepared, right? The head of Iran's armed forces, Major General Mohammad Mohammad Bagheri, went on a tour of a secret underground missile production base. They went to prove that not everything was destroyed, and they basically are producing ballistic missiles at a secret underground base. This tour was filmed and the video was leaked. This is a very staged show of strength designed to protect Iranian strength, even though Iran is losing on all sides. Well, this either is true or it's from many years ago. You don't know. Or it's an AI. You never know. Today, you can do anything. The Iranian government is officially finalizing a contract with Russia to build the Rasht-Astara Railway. Now, this is a massive project for the two countries. It will create a direct transport line connecting Russia and Iran. The Iranian ambassador to Russia, Kazem Jalali, said that both countries have finished the development of the main parts of the agreement and are going to finalize the deal in the presence of high-ranking officials from Tehran and Moscow. Speaking of Russia, Ukrainian forces used long-range drones overnight to attack major supply warehouses across southern Russia. The drones hit 4 shipping centers belonging to Ozon, which is Russia's second-largest online store. We spoke about the wild berries. Now this is the next one. It's like the Amazon, eBay, whatever. They also hit a warehouse for a home goods chain in Krasnodar. You have to understand something. They can't use Amazon or any of eBay because of the sanctions they're in, right? So they have to have their own version of it. One of the Ozone targets were a massive 130,000 square meter facility in Dagestan. Video of the drone hitting that building recorded a person nearby shouting Allah Akbar exactly as it exploded. The Dagestan center was entirely covered in flames by this morning. As a direct result of the attacks, Ozon's stock price dropped by more than 12% today. Now let's turn to Israel. There was a terrorist attack yesterday. A 24-year-old Yid from Beitar Illit was stabbed multiple times in the back by a terrorist. His name is Reb Elchonan Hanania. He was traveling to Tveria with his family. They stopped in a shop in the village of Al-Auja in the Jordan Valley. While he was there, a 16-year-old pulled out a knife and attacked him before running away. Hanania suffered a broken shoulder and internal bleeding. He was taken to the hospital with severe wounds. The doctors say he will survive the Ezra Baruch. They have a full refuge shalom and a full recovery. The Israeli military and a secret security forces started an hours-long manhunt to find this attacker, the 16-year-old. Using intelligent tracking, soldiers caught the teenager back in the same village. The military has now released a picture of the captured 16-year-old. In other news, the Israeli military and the Shin Bet security agency killed a Hamas commander in central Gaza. He was in charge of making weapons at a site in Al-Maghazi area. The military also bombed the site itself. A military spokesperson said that the weapons facility was located right next to an international aid distribution point. Israel just ordered the military to treat kites and balloons exactly the same as explosive drones. This happened after 4 kites launched from Gaza landed in Kibbutz Nachal Oz over the weekend. They started doing this, where they fly kites. They're flying kites. I guess they can't do anything else. So what should they do? Go fly a kite, they tell them. And they're actually flying kites. Even though they did not contain any explosives, the Israeli military said that they will increase strikes against the people sending the devices over the border. Defense Minister Katz ordered the military to act right away. He said, balloon or kite, explosive or not, the response will be the same as for a drone. Israel will not return to the failed security doctrine of October 6th. In other words, they said, oh, you can fly kites, it's not a problem. But no, they're not taking any chances this time. Following the new orders, 3 people have been killed in Israeli strikes. I guess they flew kites. Let's talk about what you should do. You know, when you have a lot of tasks to do in your business, you don't want to fly a kite. You don't want to just fly a kite. Whether you're an accountant, a salesperson, or a Manal Gashmi, or running any business, you know, you need one simple place to keep everyone on track. And that's, forget all the CRMs like Trello or ClickUp I've heard of. You know, you pay a ton of money, like $50 per month per user, and you have to spend all money. And some people spend up to $200, $300, even $400, depending how many employees you need to add to the team of these machines, of these applications. You can have Tasks Joy. Tasks Joy, which is TASKSJOY.com, gives you your whole team, one price, cheap price, an easy shared taskboard with ready-made templates, built-in chats, and automatically translations to 40 languages, so everyone knows exactly what to do next. Your staff can even claim open tasks on their own, saving you time every single day. Carry out the tasks, just put on the tasks, your team takes it. Try Tasks Joy for free, 10 days, with our exclusive On Edge special at tasksjoy.com. Again, tasksjoy.com, mentioned On Edge, you get 10-day free trial, and I can tell you that when you have any employee that doesn't speak your language, you just chat to them or put the task in your language, they'll get it. Tasksjoy.com. Syria has mostly stopped Iran from sneaking weapons to Hezbollah. The Israeli military says there is no new increase in weapons moving across the border right now. And this happens as a result of their hard, push down on this under Syrian leader Ahmad al-Shara. According to the Jerusalem Post, Israeli officials are in a disagreement over whether the weapons have actually stopped. They don't know if it's actually true. The argument is whether Israel can trust the Syrian government to keep the border closed, or if the military needs to step in and actually bomb those supply routes just to be safe. On August 18, the Israeli Air Force dropped at least 8 bombs on northern Syria. They hit runways and aircraft hangars at the Abu al-Dahur airbase, and that was a result because of the Turkish presence there. Israel launched a strike to stop Turkish military from moving drones and radar systems into those bases. Top officials from Israel and Syria met in Jordan on Sunday because of that. They are trying to stop further fighting between the two countries. Mossad Director Roman Goffman, who is the now new Mossad Director, and Syrian Foreign Minister Assad al-Shaybani agreed to form a joint security committee. The new group will include Israel, Syria, and Turkey. Listen to this. It will be overseen by the United States and Jordan. Syria denied that Turkey was building a permanent base there. Al-Shaybani stated that Turkish military officers were obviously visiting the airbase for training. Only for training. After the bombing communication between Israel and Syria stopped completely. It started again after Tom Barrack from the Trump government team obviously urged both sides to meet again. The Syrian foreign minister says he expects negotiations on a larger security deal to start again soon. That proposed deal would end Israeli strikes. It would also have the Israeli military eventually leave captured Syrian land. This land was taken after the fall of the Assad government. Al-Shaybani stated that continuing military attacks will only cause more chaos. He said Israel must change its policy. There is also a new Israeli assessment that says that Turkey will launch another military operation into Syria. This assessment says that it is strictly a matter of time only. Turkish forces will try to set up a stronger presence inside Syrian territory. Speaking of Syria, the United States is getting ready to take Syria off its list of countries that sponsor terrorism. A required review period in Congress is almost over. Once that deadline passes, in the upcoming days, the change becomes official. Syria has been on the United States terror list since 1979. For decades, the country has been controlled by Bashar al-Assad. Now, under President Donald Trump and the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the congressional review is wrapping up, and Syria is set to be cleared from that list. A commercial tanker caught fire in the Red Sea on Monday. Let's talk about the Red Sea now, the Yam Suf. It was hit by a ballistic missile off the coast of Saudi Arabia. Now, it was basically hit by a ballistic missile off the coast of Saudi Arabia. The Houthis took credit for carrying out this attack. The terror group in Yemen declared a blockade on Saudi-linked ships last month on the Yam Suf, on the Red Sea. They also claimed an attack on oil facilities in Yanbu, which is back in July. Saudi authorities have not yet released a statement on this strike. Next, an Israeli military search and rescue team has pulled 27 people alive from the rubble in Colombia. Remember there was an earthquake I reported about not long ago? Okay, so a 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit the western part of the country back on August 10, last Monday. It killed at least 164 people. And that right then and there, more than 2,700 people are still missing. Well, that's bad. We spoke about over 6,000 people being killed in the Venezuelan earthquake. The worst damage happened in the city of Cali. A children's hospital and multiple residential buildings collapsed there. The Israeli military sent a group of 82 rescuers, engineers, and technology specialists to the disaster zone. The team focused on two main impact sites in Cali. This included two 6-story buildings that had completely fallen down. Along with rescues, the Israeli engineers checked the safety of about 100 buildings across the city. Now the rescue mission is over and the operation has moved to recovery. The engineers are handing control back to the Colombian authorities and returning back to Israel. Portugal has officially banned face coverings in public. This new ban includes the burqa and the hijab, I think, the niqab, the hijab, the one that covers most of the face. President Antonio José Seguro signed the legislation after it was approved by the parliament. There are many European nations with similar restrictions like France, Belgium, and Switzerland. The European countries, well, most of the Muslims reside there, as you can imagine. Well, what would they say? The European countries that have this ban say that the reason is for social reason, and the social necessity of showing one's face obviously is very important. The African and Asian countries with this ban just say it straight out, to prevent religious radicalism and to prevent terrorist attacks. Trade talks between the United States and Canada ended without a deal over the weekend, obviously. They said they're going to talk, they're going to be friends, and both countries are now placing heavy tariffs on each other. Yes, on each other's goods. President Donald Trump placed a 50% tariff on $20 billion worth of worth of Canadian products. He wrote a post on Truth Social this morning saying, "We didn't need Canada, they need us." The new taxes started on Saturday. They cover Canadian wine, dairy, cement, clothing, and hockey equipment. He also announced on Truth Social this morning that effective January 1st, the current tariffs on Canadian cars, trucks, automotive parts, and steel will go up to 50% as well. 50%. Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney said, well, Canada will respond, he says. Starting on September 8th, Canada will place its own 50% tariffs on American steel, dairy, appliances, and electronics. Ooh, that's bad. Carney said the two countries were close to an agreement. He said Washington added demands that threatened Canadian and Quebec culture. Washington was trying to change Quebec's strict consumer laws that force French language packaging. President Trump says Canada has overcharged American farmers for years now. In yesterday's Truth Social post, Trump wrote that Canada wants the benefits of being an American state without actually being one. Well, he wants them to be the 51st state. Nearly 90,000 people are under warnings to leave their homes. A fast-moving wildfire is burning on the edge of Reno, Nevada. Local officials say that the fire has burned 15,000 acres. It is currently 0% under control. Zero. That means they don't have control. Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo declared a state of emergency. He also sent the National Guard. Officials say that the fire was caused by people on Shabbos morning. 6 people have been injured so far, including 3 emergency responders. Now, Washoe County was closed almost all of its schools for Monday, and major roads are blocked off. Let's talk about Shawarma Delight, because I feel like we are coming to an end of the show today, until tomorrow. So you need a good shawarma to, Yes, you can dekvik yourself, as they say. There's with a good shawarma. They have the best lamb shawarma. You can stop by a Bingo, next to Bingo, between Fino and Bingo, Shawarma Delight, or next to, I don't know exactly where the pinpoint is, but exit 14 off, on the way to or from the country, stop by exit 14, Marketplace, Shawarma Delight, or you can call them on 845-272-0011. Speak to the guys there, order yourself a shawarma, come down there, eat it, or book it on sdny.store, and say on Edge to get a free drink. And obviously, the kids get free ISIS there. It's Shawarma Delight. In other news, the United States military destroyed a boat they say was smuggling drugs in the Eastern Pacific Ocean, killing 2 people. This is the first known strike of its kind in over 2 months. The military paused the attacks on June 21st and is still not clear why. Since the Operation Southern Spear began in September 2025, the military has destroyed at least 67 boats and killed at least 221 people. Next, are you up to traveling to Oman this Rosh Hashanah? Well, are you traveling to Oman this Rosh Hashanah? Well, let me tell you this. The Rov of Uman, Rabbi Yaakov Jan, I think his name is, was making a request to everyone traveling there. He asks them to pay the city's $27 tourist tax, obviously, and you have to make sure. I think he made the request after the city officials made. So basically $27 tourist tax before arriving there. And he made this request after city officials promised to fix and upgrade the streets in the local Jewish area. This is I guess it's going to help the renovations there. Next, billionaire money manager Bill Ackman and his wife, Neri Oxman, are donating $400 million to the cause. The money will be used to build a massive new brain research. Oh, I guess not for this cause. Different news. Excuse me, I made a mistake. He's not offering any He's not donating $400 million to Uman. You got that wrong. I thought, what? The money will be used to build a massive new brain research and medical recovery center, which is going to be in Manhattan. Ackman says he started this project to study brain damage and how people can live longer. This comes after his 26-year-old daughter suffered a severe brain bleed in her Brooklyn apartment. She went 19 hours before having an emergency surgery. She was placed in a coma and lost her ability to walk, talk, see, and breathe on her own. 6 months later, she is starting to speak again and can walk short distances with a little help, but she remains blind. Very, very sad. In his public announcement about the new center, Ackman asked Yidden to daven for his daughter's recovery. He asked the public to keep Liora Bas Keren in mind for a complete Refuah Shleima. Drivers have found the wreckage of the Altalena, the ship that sank off the coast of Israel 78 years ago. The Altalena. Okay, sorry, just my pronunciation here. You have to bear with me there. Sorry about that. I know. The ship was found, by the way, if you're watching this on Edge show, you could always subscribe, like, and, you find out more. If you want to know when an episode gets released, you could always go onto onedgenews.com/subscribe. You got an email every single day when we release an episode. And I want you to know that this show is actually given in Yiddish. The English one is a bonus. And the viewership is mainly of the Yiddish show. That's why I started my show. I want to build the English one as well, so help me do this by spreading the word, obviously. It's available everywhere on YouTube mainly, but yeah. The ship, you can hear the Yiddish one as well if you want to listen to it only and not watch it. It's available on Kol Mevaser. You call Kol Mevaser 118 from the main menu. 118 from the main menu. You'll be able to listen to my show there as well. Yiddish24.com, that's where the show is obviously featured. Yiddish24.com. It's the biggest Yiddish entertainment website available with all the Yiddish entertainment there. Everyone you know is there. And my show is featured there, obviously, in the news section and also in the video section, so yes. The ship was found intact about 12 miles off the coast, sitting over 1,500 feet under the water. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir announced this discovery. Back in 1948, the ship was bringing weapons to the Irgun, the Jewish armed group. David Ben-Gurion ordered the military to fire on the ship to take control of the weapons, even though the future Prime Minister Menachem Begin was on board. The attack killed 16 Irgun members and 3 soldiers. After the attack, the ship caught fire, was towed out to the sea and sank, and it has been lost ever since. YS Capital Group, your ideas and dreams are not lost. They're not lost at all. Ever since any time, because you have YS Capital Group to rescue. If you need some money, you look at a building, you have the potential. You just want to invest in this, but you need the cash. Here is YS Capital Group, and they will come to the rescue. The answer is yes. 718-831-2168. Ask them about the no closing cost loans. And then when you want to take a taxi, you don't have to call a taxi and wait 15 minutes until the taxi arrives, because Arrive Express. They arrive 845-622-1111. They have another fleet from the KJ unit, Palm Tree today, 845-254-1111. Now, when you want to build a website, you want to build a software, an app, you don't have to go the lengths by finding someone over, Fiverr and messing it up, and after 2 years, not getting anywhere. Believe me, been there, done that, water t-shirt, as they say. You should call today Protobyte, 347-354-1237, or visit proto-byte.com. You will thank me later, trust me. The money you invest now and then is going to be money made back The ROI is amazing on this. Trust me, don't bother with trying alone. I know, you've been there, you have AI, you can do everything yourself. You know the people that say, I could do everything on my own, they never get anywhere. You gotta know how to delegate. Call Protobyte. Book your soft. You'll thank me then. 347-354-1237. That's Protobyte. Okay, thank you, my friends, for joining us today. We'll see each other tomorrow. Ezra Hashem Yisborach tomorrow. What happened to my pronunciations today? Doesn't make a difference. Every day goes on. Ezra Hashem Yisborach tomorrow.
Your daily report of the news of the last 24 hours, powered by Yiddish 24, provided to you by The Click.